Hello and welcome to Animated Revolution, where bad cartoons go back where they came from. You guys didn't give any input on the catchphrase, so I chose for you. And if you liked the catchphrase from last week, you should have said something! Or commented something. Anyway, remember the Powerpuff Girls? If you're thinking, oh yeah, that little girls show, you are poorly, sadly, deeply mistaken. The Powerpuff Girls was not a little girls show. It was in fact a show about three little kindergarten girls, supermen who beat up giant monsters, supervillains, etc., and swore themselves to protect the dumbest people in the world who all reside in the city of Townsville. This show was not an animated series. It was in fact a cartoon. And a superhero satire cartoon at that, parodying as much as the superhero genre as possible and making it hilarious and adorable as possible. The Powerpuff Girls themselves were three adorable little noseless girls, which honestly makes me think that they're somehow related to Krillin from Dragon Ball. But then again, they have fingers, so there's that. Who were made from the little girl ingredients from that poem, What Are Little Boys Made Of? With a touch of a chemical that is never explained exactly what it is, where it came from, or why it was made. You know, it's really weird when the main MacGuffin of the show is the main driving element. And I loved the show as a kid. Heck, I still love it. And last November was the 15th anniversary of the show's creation, and thus Cartoon Network released a special to celebrate the show. And I was thrilled, despite the special airing a full 2 months after its 15th anniversary. However, given Cartoon Network's recent track record of shows, I did not hold out much hope for it. Adventure Time, Uncle Grandpa, Gumball, Teen Titans Go, David Little Fusion. Yeah, you'd think that for an anniversary of one of their most successful shows, Cartoon Network would pull out all the stops, get the original creators' input, the original writers, the original voice actors, the original animators, all the people who made the show the hit it was that won 2 Emmys and 2 Annies. They do not. They only get the original voice actors and use pointless CGI with a ridiculous art style that only complements a few characters. And from what I've read, Craig McCracken, the original creator of the show, had no input on the special for his show at all. In fact, I don't think Cartoon Network even really remembers anything about this show. But it's all okay. We don't need any of that stuff that made the show awesome in the past. You know why? Because we have Ringo Starr as a voice actor for this special, and that's all we need. So, without further delay, let's take a look at the destroyer of nostalgia that is the Powerpuff Girls Dance Pants. So, we begin with the opening sequence of the title. Except the narrator sounds like he's been pretty out of practice for a while. Which, to be fair, he has...
Chemical X.
Also, I know I just made a joke about Chemical X being a MacGuffin, but really, how did Professor Utoni make 3 little girls with superpowers out of sugar, spice, and everything nice? Is Chemical X the God Chemical? Did Utonium liquidize God? Also, why was he trying to invent a little girl? Was he just never given the birds and the bees talk? And then the narrator introduces to us some mathematician played by Ringo, an opera singer, and a badger, who all get kidnapped by a giant robot which the mayor, hilariously and so like his character, pays more attention to a pickle jar than the robot.
The only giant robotic terror here is you! Now stop teasing me and let me eat my pickles!
And then we cut to the Powerpuff Girls' house as Buttercup combats her greatest threat of all, broccolini. Oh no! They're back to kill us all! You'd think I was kidding, but no, there was an actual episode of the show where evil alien broccoli tried to take over the world. Even this show can make a PSA exciting. Also, while we're on the subject of Buttercup, who else thought she was a dude when we were originally watching this and we're not very smart? And then they turn the broccolini into a gummy bear, I guess, and... Wait! Did Bubbles just use ice breath? No. It's Blossom that has the ice breath power, not Bubbles. And moreover, how does freezing a vegetable, pounding it, and then lasering it make the vegetable into a gummy bear? How?
Yeah, Mayor, we're on it. There's a giant robot smashing downtown that needs to be whooped. Come on!
And then they decide to fight the robot individually by themselves instead of working as a team and get their heinies whooped a little too easily.
Let me handle this.
Mr. Robot, that's not very nice.
How come she gets a pillow?
We gotta work as a team if we're gonna beat this thing.
No! A superhero team that has worked together for 6 seasons over the course of 6 years working as a team? What new spore of mad thinking is this?
Plan Broccolini! Yeah!
They somehow pull off the same plan they used to turn the broccolini into a gummy bear on a robot made of metal, no less. Physics? What's that? And just a heads up, this is the only battle strategy they ever employ in this special. So Professor Utonium gets his wallet from his lab the next day, bypassing his security system in the most ludicrous way possible so he can bring the girls to the store to buy something. And then they decide that they want a dance game and resort to a tantrum that no doubt resulted in several injuries to normal people and makes the professor have to pay 5 times what the game is worth for property damages.
Works every time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Powerpuff Girls were never that selfish. But who needs character consistency? We still have Ringo. And so when the mayor calls the girls to get their help with reaching a pickle jar, that is so like him, we see that Bubbles' selfishness expands toward her blowing off her responsibilities to play a video game. So I guess the PPG don't actually age since Bubbles is acting like either a teenage guy, example my brother, or a middle-aged man who has nothing in his life. This is for the purposes of humor. If you are a middle-aged man or a teenager who has many friends and loves to play video games, please do not be offended. And so at the mayor's house, instead of just flying up to the shelf and getting the pickle jar for the mayor, Blossom and Buttercup decide to use Plan Defy Physics and turn all known substances to man into gummy bears. And then they forget that Blossom also has ice breath, so they can't go through with their ludicrous plan, and that makes no sense. And then the girls have an intervention.
You've been playing Dance Bounce Revolution way too much, and it's time for you to stop. Say isn't. No! Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! No!
And after the girls try to get rid of Dance Pants Revolution and by giving it to the professor, we uncover a traumatized past between the professor and dancing. And trust me, folks, there is a lot wrong with this backstory. For starters, it says that the professor arrived in Townsville as a full-grown man and with a dream of dancing. Then some kind of Soul Train satire here says that his dancing is terrible.
That's worse than a prairie dog stuck on a cactus in May.
Is that an actual saying? Then he gets inspired to do science by
Gregor Mendel, Isaac Newton, Slim Jim Wellbody, and Stephen Hawking. You're the world's greatest scientists.
Forget about dance and join the science team.
Okay. Not just attributing to the fact that 2 of those people are dead, and 1 doesn't exist, but we can forgive that. Watch Season 4, Episode 3, Get Back JoJo, to see all the continuity problems with this backstory. And then watch Season 1, Episode 7B, Mr. Mojo's Rising, to see Mojo's error with the previously mentioned episode. Because I am not sitting here and explaining all this to you. I have stuff to do. I'm not staying here all day. Also, I thought that retconning continuity was more DC's thing in Cartoon Network.
Okay, Opti. This time you be the magical rainbow polar bear, and I'll be Winston Churchill.
And then Bubbles is dropped off an obvious evil plan. It even says so on the front and back of the box. And the evil plan takes place. The Powerpuff Girls get controlled by evil mechanical pants. Wow, I never thought I'd hear myself say that. And then they kidnap the Badger, the opera singer, and Ringo. Then the professor thinks he's uncovered Mojo's evil plan.
Girls, and force them to kidnap a badger who can dig through the professor's steel security doors, Fibonacci sequins whose reflective jacket can thwart the security lasers, and an opera singer who can crack the impenetrable glass protecting Chemical X. Whereby Mojo Jojo can steal Chemical X, gain super evil monkey powers, take over Townsville, and destroy the Powerpuff Girls.
The sad thing is that would be a much better plan than what Mojo's actual plan was in this. It also would make more sense. The victims free themselves, or at least 2 of them.
No. Let it be.
And then the professor, the mayor, and Miss Bellum challenge the girls to a dance-off. And so the professor embarrasses himself again, deciding to change back into his lab coat between scenes to sulk in, and seeing the professor so pathetic, snaps the girls out of their mind control and then use plan no physics involved to get out of the controlling pants. Then the girls do what they should have been doing throughout this entire special, kicking butt. Albeit in the strangest way possible, but still, it's superhero action. And then Mojo reveals what his evil plan was all along. And trust me, folks, it's a doozy.
Form a softball team.
A softball team?
Mojo creates softball team. Plus, championship win equals ruling of Townsville with softball celebrities.
Magnificent bastard, I read your book!
Worst Mojo plan ever! And so Mojo's softball team is formed, and Mojo is sent to jail. And so, once again, the day is saved, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. And that was their big comeback, everybody. That was their first appearance in 5 years since their last episode, The Powerpuff Girls Rule. And I just have to say that it is very, very, very disappointing. It has a horrible art style, dumber physics than ever present before or in the show, zero consistency within the characters, not to mention a take-over-the-world plan that is so lame and nonsensical that Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb would laugh at it. Oh yeah, I went there. And also, a pointless CGI animation. Moreover, why was it Mojo Jojo who was the villain in this? Why is it that in every special, the movie included, Mojo is the main villain? Why not someone like him? He had potential that was never realized. And if you want an example of what you can do with a demon in a cartoon, boom, season 4 of Teen Titans. Or why not the Rowdy Rough Boys? We were never given closure on what happened to them. The last time we saw them was in the episode Custody Battle, where it was just all we care about is destroying the Powerpuff Girls. Well, then the day is doomed. And that's it. We never see them again. Why? I said before that I didn't have much hope for it, but it didn't even meet my lowered standards. And I know that this is a kid's show, but that is no excuse for sloppy and poor writing. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to watch the original seasons of Powerpuff Girls on Netflix. Oh, and by the way, if you guys have any suggestions for bad TV shows that are animated or cartoons or anime, or bad animated movies or CGI stuff, or bad episodes of a good animated TV show or anime, please let me know in the comments section. That would be very helpful.